Next up is Susan Constantino, President and CEO of Cerebral Palsy Associations of New York State, and following that is Tanya Anderson from Arise.
Thank you, Senator Mannion, and thank you, Senator Martucci, and thanks for deciding to go forward. I was afraid you were going to take a break, and that was going to push us further away from my 2 o'clock phone call. I am Susan Constantino, and I'm the CEO of, and I love to now proudly say it after Michael Bolton testified, of United Cerebral Palsy Associations of New York State. And 44 years ago, we did take 600 folks out of Willowbrook, and we were able to place them in apartments and homes throughout New York City. And as he said, we were able to do that because we could hire a workforce, and a workforce who wanted to work. We paid them at the time what was a better wage than perhaps what they could get in a minimum wage job. But what's really outstanding to me is that some of those people still work for me today, 44 years later. So it's really quite incredible. These are careers for people. We talk about them as jobs. They've become jobs, but they are careers for many people, and those are the folks we want to bring into our organization. People have said everything that I was going to say today, so I thought what I would do is just go to the part where I would tell you, we represent about 19,000 workers across New York State. I myself in my own agency have almost 1,200 direct support professionals. And what I've done is just to ask folks to tell me what people say on exit interviews when they leave. Why are they leaving? What is about this job that you don't like? What we have found for the most part is that in my agency in particular, we probably hire about 25 or 30 people every 2 months, and we probably lose about 30 people every 2 months. Some are people in and out. Some are folks who are ready to retire and by attrition are leaving, but many are really in and out. It's not the job they thought it was. The first thing that they say across the board is money. I need more money. We all kind of have said for years our folks have many jobs. They have many jobs because they can't afford to live on one job. And when we're fully staffed and we don't have overtime for them, they really can't afford to live, which is why they have 2 jobs. Now they are accumulating so much overtime, they work overtime so much, and then this is the second piece, but we cannot take any longer the mandated overtime. Everyone knows, and it was lovely to hear, and I think it was the woman from CSEA who had said, our folks don't go. If you're in a home and someone doesn't show up and your child needs to get picked up, you figure out a way for your child to get picked up because you stay. That's their mandated time. Mm-hmm. They must be there. But I can't tell you the number of phone calls I get, the number of complaints we get from the unions that represent, we have 4 different unions that represent our folks, that the mandated overtime is the single worst issue that they have. And in fact, their staying with us may mean that they're not showing up at their second job. And so therefore, there's more mandated overtime in another place. When I said, what is it? We thought we were going to have a career, but this is different. We're always tired. They certainly are tired. COVID did not create the problem. COVID exacerbated what was a bad problem before. And without enough people, they're doing 2 people's jobs. Your minimum may be 2 people that have to be on a shift, but usually you have 2 or 3 or 4 people who come in to do transportation, people who come in to go on outings or whatever. You don't have that anymore. So what they thought they were doing as a career, enhancing and working on helping people lead lives, they're not. They're doing the tasks that have to be done. And while they all have to be done, they're not what they wanted for their career. They want more opportunity to learn new skills. They want more opportunity to take classes. Not necessarily, and I loved what Joe Macbeth said, not as a career ladder to become a supervisor, but to become a better direct support staff, to learn the skills that people need to become a better direct support staff. And mostly they say, we want a job that pays us enough that we don't need 2 jobs and that we can also have a life. And that doesn't seem like a lot to be asking of anybody for what they want in their career. What I would really wish we could see is that I've been, as many people have been in this career, in this field a long, long time. We're not partners anymore with the state. We really are all working to try to get what we need to get. We're not partners working together. I wish what we could get out of this is a partnership, because it's not our problem, it's not their problem, it's our problem, and we really need to work together to solve this, or everything that we've built up for all of our years is going to disintegrate. All of our data is not in my paper, it's all in the NIDA paper, because we've worked very closely with NIDA, so that's where it all is. Mine is more from a provider level to just tell you that we really do need your help going forward. It's not a one-shot. The enhanced FMAP is great, but you know, when we got to the 5-1 cuts, and I'm sorry, but I don't want to forget this, the 5-1 cuts, I heard the commissioner say today, well, we did that, that's the vacancy, to take away the vacancy factor. We did that so that we didn't have to take a 2% cut. That wouldn't have worked. Well, for some agencies, it's a 5% cut simply to their residential program. For my agency, it's a $6 million cut. And since we don't know if that's going to take place or not, we have to reserve the money. Yeah. If I've created a budget without that $6 million in it, think what I could do with that $6 million. Think how I could give that to the staff in order to be able to increase their salaries, but instead I have to know that I may have to give that back. And so we need answers. We can't be just left to like sort of plod along waiting, and we need our partner back. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't think I need to ask you a question, really, to be honest. So I appreciate the testimony, and I think you landed it right in the right spot with everything that's already been said, and a great summary to that. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Susan.
Thank you. Our next witness is